What's going on, everybody? Brett here. We're back playing some more Wargroove, and alright, so we have a couple options today. If you remember where we left off last time, we finished off this fight as Emmerich versus Greenfinger, and we settled some stuff. We found out the Greenfinger is not himself a jerk, and it was only really Sedge who was trying to manipulate him into fighting us. So now we have two side missions. We can either do Making Friends. It says, having just met, Nuru and Mercia decide to test each other's mettle. So we play as Mercia. No doubt we fight against Nuru in kind of a friendly side mission. And we also have, and this is the one I think that I'm going to do, it's called Banishment. Unhappy with Sedge's deception, Greenfinger confronts the wayward commander. And it shows us playing as Greenfinger, which seems pretty cool. It'll be the first time we actually get to play as a different race in this campaign. So, yeah, let's do this one and see how it goes. Sedge, we need to talk. What were you thinking, attacking those humans completely unprovoked?
The hunt.
Sedge was hunting. Sedge found his prey. Greenfinger thinks we should temper ourselves, be diplomatic. Florin are hunters. Florin are killers. Greenfinger is nothing but a wilted coward. See how he leans back when he says that, like he knows he's about to get slapped? Greenfinger, do what you gotta do, man. Oh, crap. Too long have I turned a blind eye to your savage nature.
That's enough.
This is it, Sedge. You're banished. Excommunicato.
No.
Sedge isn't going anywhere. You will when I kick you with my tree horse. Maybe it's time for a new ruler in the Gloom Woods. Ooh, this is a big map.
Sedge.
Retreat, Sedge. We need not fight this battle. I hear fear in Greenfinger's voice. If you will not listen to reason, I must resort to force. This dude is Malfurion. Straight up Malfurion from Warcraft. No one else can tell me anything else. Good. Sedge is ready. Destroy the enemy stronghold or defeat Sedge. Got it. Same old, same old. So Sedge starts with 2 villages and then 2 more villages that are like on his side of the bridge. And we start with like nothing. So the game's giving us a bit of an uphill battle. Interesting. Okay. I think the most important thing is that we turn 1 capture the barracks. And then move forward next turn to get the other village. There's definitely some tricks here to the order of operations. But we need to get the ability to make more units online, I think, as fast as possible. Next turn, Greenfinger will come here, capture this. How do they call these? They're just soldiers. Kind of hard to assign them gender when they're plant people, but I don't know. Kind of look like lady soldiers. And then we'll drop down maybe another soldier or something like that, and we'll take this. Keep it cheap so we can stack up a little bit of gold. Oh, the game. See, what was I thinking? Sorry, guys. In my mind, this was a stronghold because I haven't played a mission yet where the game straight up just gives me 2 barracks. That's actually pretty interesting. So we can look at them right now. So there's a slasher, a stabber, a quagmut. Oh, the wagon's got a mushroom dude in it. With a little, like, buffalo boy. That's super cute. A shooter, a green guard, and a Treebuchet. I see what you did there. Okay. Alright. Well, that's good to know. We actually can make something. I'm tempted just to make one of these and to run it forward. Perhaps we can deny the bridge. I feel like a lot of this is going to be us fighting over the central resources and then having to push them back onto their side of the island and ultimately win, which, you know, seems like it could be difficult.
This place will do nicely.
Let's make a slasher. They're going to go and take this next turn. Let's move as far as we can. Let's not leave any movement on the table. We want to get as downfield as we can, as quickly as we can. We got to get that income up. I think that's it. Huh, it's not like automatically passing. But let's take a second to see what they have. They also made a pup. The pikemen could be really good once we start getting some income going. We can use them on the bridges, but at that point, I mean, we'll be making ranged and other things. It'll be a little more difficult. But you see here, they're rushing forward as well in the same way that we are top. Stay on the road. Yeah, I wasn't used to seeing the treehouse as our stronghold. Okay, we have 300. I could also see the wagon being quite the viable thing to build here. We'll take this next turn. And we'll probably take that next turn as well. So we'll have 2 of the 3 things on the island. But they ultimately have more villages on their island. And they just made an archer, which is going to be a huge advantage this early in the game. I don't have any ranged whatsoever. But the thing is, once you take the villages yourself, you then have kind of the bonus of the village. And by that I mean, let's say you get hurt in a fight, but your unit doesn't die, but they're standing right next to a village. You can then turn around and reinforce and keep them alive. Greenfinger thinks he can intimidate Sedge. Sedge will show Greenfinger how a real Florin hunts.
No.
I will not let you continue down this path of destruction. It's time to leave, Sedge. Hope you guys don't mind my my voices. I'm sure they're not the best you've ever heard. I am by no means a voice actor. But that's how I read it in my head. Let's move these boys forward. Really hoping there's no sneaky, like they drop units behind me type of thing. And here, let's make 2 more dogs. We could pump out extra units every turn. Okay. Yeah, our pup's in no danger at all. Yeah, if we bring him forward, that's fine. And we could sit him on this little mountain right here, and he'll have a nice defensive bonus against any melee troops. The only thing is, I really want to get some archers up here. We're at 600 right now. Okay. We can't hit any one of these, and if we move into the forest, we have a strong defensive advantage of 3 versus... I mean, they could probably move here into the mountains and get a defensive bonus of 4 and hit us. Perhaps not the same with the pup. So now I think it's just a matter of getting all of our resources as kind of consolidated as we can. And now we have 600. Make sure I'm doing it at the right place. Okay. Let's get ourselves a shooter. And our income right now, we can check the overview. So it's 600 a turn. We could, make a knight every turn, but if we save a little bit each turn, that could be good as well. But I would love to get like a trebuchet on this side, something like that, and just be able to beat them down from ranged. And honestly, we don't really need to move forward with Greenfinger. If we move down one here, then only she can attack us, and the dog can't. And I don't think they'll attack us with just one unit, because doing that is pretty dumb. We'll just kill it, and, that's that. Oh yeah, this is very good. Okay, let's bring our soldier there, our slasher. Where can we go? We can come here. This is interesting. I hadn't considered how far the pup can move, so sorry if it's like taking me a second. So what I may have done instead was move him either into the forest, or if he could have moved onto one of the mountains. And I don't think he could have actually. I think the forest is where he could have moved. And then I would have brought down the pup. And either they would have gone after the pup, which would have been fine, because then we would have cleaned them up with him. Or they would have gone after him, and then we could have cleaned them up with him plus the pup. And then we, there'd be no one here to defend this. Now, my pup is kind of stuck staying in that area. And I'm asking myself if I should just spend... Yeah, I think I'm going to spend. For at least this opening bits of the game, I want to make sure that I'm using all of my resources, pumping out as many units as possible. I'm already in kind of such an advantage unit-wise. Yeah, this is what I figured would happen. They'll do a tiny bit of damage to me. And then we will almost certainly one-shot them very close. Yeah, and the pup's attacking me. They get a little bit of a defensive bonus. Wow, they actually did a ton of damage. Okay, well, we'll bring them back and reinforce. Let's attack from this side. And remember that Greenfinger heals, I think it's 5% every turn. So him taking, 15% damage on his HP is really nothing. And once our pikemen get on the other side, our pokers or stabbers, we'll be able to lock this place down pretty well. Get the pup in the front. Let's not block up our, our faster units. And reinforce here. That'll work. And move up. I really want to get our archers in place as soon as possible. Let's just get another one. Alright, that's pretty good. Pretty good. Alright, enter. Said, you done messed up, man.
Huh?
Oh, no. It is a grave crime to use the Guardians of the Forest against another Florin. So, Greenfinger won't use Gloom Giants. all the better for sedge. Alright, this is pretty bad. This I don't mind at all. It's like 100 less income. But it's really not a big deal. It's basically giving us a free kill on these guys. So what we need to do now is save and build a trebuchet. It's pretty dang important that we do that. Alright, we take out the pups with these guys, and then we use our slashers to take back the village. And we're going to do it from this side. That way the those pups can't take us. They can attack the village, but then they'll be vulnerable to an attack. So you'll see that we moved them there kind of on purpose. Kind of knew what I was doing there. And I wonder if you can put a trebuchet in a wagon. That's something I'm asking myself right now. I like the idea of attacking this, mostly because I don't think these two can kill us. And I feel like we're blocking some of our potential movement range here. The play may be to try and be defensive until we get a trebuchet to help us deal with this golem. But that is certainly going to take much longer. We can get on the archers, but that's about it. If this completely knocked them out of the village, this would be a pretty easy decision. I would just do it. But it doesn't. It just takes it down to a low amount. We take a little bit of damage, which is fine. But then they retaliate with an archer and a knight. And then we honestly don't have much in the way of backup here. Our pikeman's going to take a minute to get to the other side of this little forest he's in. I mean, he's not going to take much damage. And we'll heal 5%. And we can always go here and disrupt that archer. We'll take some damage. And then they have one of 3 units that they can just straight up, kill us with. We need a trebuchet. So if you remember from the last episode, it takes a lot to bring these things down. And if you don't bring them down quickly, they get critical damage. We can click on them. Critical hit when at or below 40% health. So you got to bring them down in 1 or 2 shots if you can. So I think the play here is just to get our dog away from this dog. But I can't get it away from the knight. And if I can't get it away from the knight, then I want to bring it here. If the knight comes here, I think we'll be able to get to him with the pikeman. Maybe not, though. We'll see. The golems can also move deceptively far, especially on a road. Wow, and the knights come down to attack me here. The archer's probably going to shoot at my dogs then. Okay, they're going to use all this DPS on Greenfinger, who can heal quite easily. That was probably best case scenario, honestly. I can feel the energies of the forest building within me. As ever, I will use them to summon great vines to shield my allies, or to trap my foes. It saddens me that you, Sedge, now fall into the latter category. I have no idea what his thing does. Oh my god, I don't know what it does. Dang it, I don't know what it does. So, they made it sound like it hurts people. Which is fine. Move here. Sedge looks like he wants to come north. See if we can't get into the trees. We'll bring the dog down. Bring another swordsman this way. And we're going to make a trebuchet before I forget. That's the most important thing. Keep clicking on the wrong tile. Okay. Let's recruit it. Stick it here. Good, good. Let's attack this archer. Probably kill one of our pups, and they do. And now this set of pups is pretty much food, unfortunately. Move forward there. Gonna attack here. They have a defensive bonus. They're actually gonna hurt us pretty well. Okay, let's come up here and attack. And I think we can move. I think we can move back one and then move in here with the swordsman and attack with the critical bonus. But I'm not 100% sure, and I don't want to like ruin my movement, sadly. Could also just move forward and kill those, but that puts Greenfinger in a pretty rough spot there, where he'll take damage from a swordsman, a pup, and a knight. I don't know what Wild Growth does. Is there a way to read what his... Maybe it's in the codex. Codex. This is important because I mean, I may not even be able to find it out, and we may just have to try it. But if there's a way to figure out what it does beforehand, I mean, I guess I could always like go online while we're sitting here. Let me know in the comments if I'm just missing it, guys. I would much rather do this like in-game. But give me 1 second while I just look up like Greenfinger's groove. What a weird thing to put into Google. I'm hoping to find out what it does. Maybe it's... So what I'm reading right now is, so the player chooses 5 tiles within the area range and vines and immobile units spawn. Wild growth is particularly useful in conjunction with ranged units that are able to use his vines for cover. During Fog of War, the vines are also capable of ambushing foes. The vines degrade over time at 1 HP per turn and can be attacked by enemy units without attacking themselves. That's actually really, really, really interesting.
Nature's cry!
Well, check this out. We'll just block them off. The knight can't get to us. Nobody can get to us. And we're going to eventually take this from them. Not sure how much HP these things have. The only one who's really suffering is going to be our pup, who is already stuck on the other side. There's no way this thing can go all the way around and then get to us. They're going to have to attack down the vines. And if they do that, which maybe they can, maybe these things can get one-shotted, but if they do that, they're going to be on the receiving end of our counterattacks. So I think that was a pretty slick play. And now we have our Trebuchet coming to try and reinforce their own Trebuchet. So we kind of always knew these guys would go. Wow, these things are tanky. Awesome. That's a pretty cool ability. And now we've made like a bit of a block up on the bridge. The one unit that needs to get the heck out of the way is this pup. I kind of want to just like run straight by him and start threatening the back line. We have no good attacks on equal footing. We're basically attacking them from the road onto the plains, so we're missing out on some defensive bonuses. This pup's got to move. It's hard to predict their movements next turn because they'll certainly be able to take out some of these vines. We're getting there. And I think I'm going to want to build 2 of these. So I may wait another turn. This is very interesting because the vines are completely passable to us. Okay. This is a good use of dog. Move up, capture. And now we should have better income than our opponents. They're on 4, we're on 5, 6. We can cross over and like absolutely wreck these dogs. And then the knights may attack us, but the knights are not good versus these pikemen. Yeah, I think we do it. We'll have our archers in place soon. So had I known that Sedge was going to start building golems and then start building trebuchets, I would have probably still built one archer, but I probably wouldn't have built this one, and I would have saved and got a trebuchet a turn sooner. And, you know, then he would be like here already, and, you know, a lot of things would look different. And I think we just go ahead and, you know, go 50-50 on this exchange. I don't believe they'll be able to kill us on the backswing, but if they do, we'll be able to take them out as well. And then, you know, if we trade a dog for a pikeman, that's fine. The dog is a little bit more expensive, but the pikeman is the only unit they have up here. And if it goes, that's it. We control the top, we can push across here, or we can easily reinforce the bottom depending on what we need to do. Like I said, we're going to save one more turn, get one more trebuchet. This trebuchet is going to be problematic though. As long as we can get ours into position first, we should be fine. This is a pivotal turn because it'll really depend on how the enemy deals with being bunched up here. Yeah, that's what we expected. They're going to come and one-shot our pups. But if they're doing that, they're not attacking the village. They're not taking down the vines. And at the end of the day, the big guy is still stuck on the other side. It's buying us a complete other turn to get our trebuchet into position. And our archers, for that matter. Of which we have 2. And they prioritize the village. The village is just a big distraction. Yeah, they can't hit anything yet. This is fine. Let's move up 1 and do the damage. Pup down, pup down. It seems good. Yeah, I like this. We attack from the forest, we take them down to almost nothing. Their retaliation is basically 0 damage. Yeah. Perfect. And now we basically own the top. And we can start pushing forward or closing down. We need to be mindful of that pup's movement range. We may step back just for this turn. Stepping here. Just get outside of their range. Alright, so my idea right now is to move here and attack, then use Greenfinger to capture this again. And if they spend another turn capturing, that's really good for us. before I forget, let's recruit another Trebuchet. Trebuchets on this side of the island, like if we park them here, they can probably hit both of these villages, or at least this one maybe. And maybe one here can hit this village. So we can completely push them back to this portion of the map, and anyone who tries to get across will get wrecked. We got our Trebuchet in position first, which is huge. Just go ahead and attack them. Those vines are super clutch though. And just capturing this gives them another roadblock. One more thing the AI thinks it has to do. And if we need to next turn, we can try and reinforce Greenfinger. And we'll move forward one more with the pikemen. Anything I'm forgetting? Anything at all? We can make something else here. Make another pup. Pups are strong in duplicates. Every time you get two of them together, they deal critical damage. I think that's it. Okay, in turn. And meanwhile, Greenfinger, all the while, he's just healing up. Going after the vines. Ooh, the golem's able to hit Greenfinger. I guess I didn't see that play. But he should be dead. I don't think he's going to kill Greenfinger with the golem. Very close, though. Wow, I did not see that play. %. 50%. Okay. We have moves. We do have moves. I think no matter what, this is an attack. Let's take him down a pig. Okay, now he does critical damage, so anyone who attacks him in melee is going to have a bad time. You can take him down another 15%. Hiss. Greenfinger should stay away. Sedge will bite. Sedge will kill. Okay. The big thing is that we don't want the Trebuchet to hit Greenfinger, because that's just like an automatic loss for us. So we probably need to move him here. We can't kill this with one go. So we can move the pikeman here, 50% damage to the Trebuchet. We move this guy here, we kill the swordsman, and then we move our swordsman down here, and we leave the golem with 1 HP. That's awful. And we really can't hurt the knight, whatsoever. We have a couple things that we have to do no matter what. So let's do those first. sure no one can get us. If we move up here, that might be fine. I'm curious how much destruction one of these can do with, 6% HP. That seems like not a lot. Alright, let's attack there. The board will look a lot different once we kill off some of these things. Yep, there we go. So it says he'll die. Awesome. Boy, that's a much better attack. But anything this thing hits is basically a one-shot. Yeah, and it doesn't get a return attack in melee, so that's good. See if we can get our pikemen standing next to each other on this bridge. That'll give us a nice bonus. And we need to move there. Up this way. And maybe we just build a green guard to try and get across as fast as possible to help us reinforce. Alright, we're doing well. I think the trebuchet should die next turn. And then we'll have our trebuchets. Whether or not one or two of these units die is not a huge deal. What I'm kind of foreseeing is maybe the trebuchet kills this unit here. Although it may not even be able to just because, it's low HP. This is very interesting. It might have to move back. Let Sedge move forward and kill the pikemen. Yeah, and then in which case we just have trebuchets and archers right there. I mean, they're in a tough spot. I think we've pretty much, got this, guys. Wow, they attacked the village. The one thing I really don't care about. Ooh, but that let him move up to hit. Oh, no. I didn't know that they could pass through like that.
How could I?
Oh my god, I didn't know that if no one owned that they could pass through. Oh my god.
Search.
Well, we learned something.
No, that's it.
I'm tempted. That's 43 minutes, guys, is what I'm looking at right now on my recording. Really tempted to just end that and start over. But I think we can retry this much faster. And now that we know kind of how he's going to build, we can prioritize getting ourselves in that trebuchet in place sooner, which I think will ultimately kind of roll over him. And we'll stick with cheap units, that way we can try and save up for that faster trebuchet. So this is going to be a long video. It's rough to lose to a mechanic that I don't know exists. So like I had no idea that you could pass through. So, the one guy took this and then with the trebuchet, and then the knight just ran all the way through and up. It's like, I didn't know that they could do that. So I can't kind of plan my moves around that. But now I know. And we're going to advance quickly. Take the center quickly. I mean, honestly, if that hadn't happened, we were basically winning that handily. Okay. Alright, Alright, let's get across. I want to know what this guy's deal is. He looks different from everyone else. That's not what I want. Let's get our 2 stabbers online. And right now we're just pumping out a lot more units. They saved up and got an archer. And here we go.
This place will do nicely.
And we should also be able to take the top, no problem.
No.
Just says no. Never ending clicking on the wrong thing. And I think now we make, let's look at the overview map. Yeah, our income is now 600 a turn. So next turn we'll be able to make an early trebuchet if we just don't build anything this turn. We can make 2 pups, or mutts, quagmutts. It's pretty tempting. I think we're going to do that. We can overwhelm this center area with stuff. Now we save 2 turns and then get ourselves a trebuchet. They go archer, knight, golem. And I think what did it for us last time here was some smart play with Greenfinger early on. Kind of tricked the AI into attacking us with just 1 swordsman, which we were able to easily fend off. See, and this is tempting as well because we can just drop a knight or an archer. It's hard to take that turn off, but I think the sooner we get the trebuchet in this part of the battlefield, the sooner we can start one-shotting things. So honestly, I think what we do here is let's leave Greenfinger here. They can't reach us with the swordsman, and if they attack us with the pups, we just destroy them. And then there's only a swordsman between us and this last village. Yeah, there we go. We're at a defensive disadvantage. But when we heal 5% a turn, we should be able to heal up quite a bit before that really matters. This early stages in the game, losing a unit for nothing is pretty huge. It tilts combat in our favor. For the rest of the game. And now we need a Trebuchet. I don't know why I keep calling it a Trebuchet. It's a Trebuchet, clearly. And let's attack from our best defensive position first. It's a pretty fair trade. But getting rid of, you know, all of 3 of their first units without losing anything is so huge. Let's get our guys out of the way. Pups in front just because they have the better movement range. Let's get them as far forward as we can. So we now have a Trebuchet down. Let's build... You know what, let's save. We could drop another Trebuchet next turn. That'll probably just be the play. End turn. So let's see if it's turn 6 that the golems come down. It is. I feel like he used it further back last time, like it was here. The Gloom Giants. And attacking us, you know, on the road gives him the best advantage, but I mean, we're just going to use him to win anyway. Okay, here comes the knights. Yeah, let's do that. The idea right now is just to move forward with everything. We're putting Greenfinger in range of stuff, but if we have to, we'll just fall back. We will fall back and heal at this village. And we're just absolutely stacking units on this side. Another Trebuchet. Boom. This says it kills him, but if it doesn't, I'm going to be in like rough shape. So I think we attack here. Make sure it works, because we've done experiments in the past where I've trusted the AI's percentage and it doesn't come out to exactly what it says it will. And that feels pretty bad. So the knight has an extra target. The archer can hit really anyone. And we kind of hope they target Greenfinger because they can't kill him. We'll just pull him back, we heal him, and then our Trebuchet is probably in range, or is very close to being in range. We just need to be careful with the Trebuchet when we get there. Let's see what they do. The knight could go up and start busting up our swordsman. Nope, they're going to focus down Greenfinger, who has a pretty strong +3 defense. And now we have his groove, which I would love to just put all over this bridge. Just block it up completely. Yeah, that's what we need right there. Boom. Okay, let's wait a second on that. We wait. Let's move back here. So this is my idea, guys. Well, we can't even really one-shot. What can our trebuchet hit? Nothing? Okay. Let's move here and wait. So my problem is I want to use his groove. To block this off. And give ourselves another turn to move forward with our trebuchet. But I don't know, his gloom has a really weird kind of, or his groove has a really weird... Oh no, it works fine. Something like that.
Cry.
Just completely deny them. And meanwhile, so this is why they're screwed, okay? The pup is the only thing that can start attacking this, and it's going to take it forever to get through. And in the meantime, if they try and turn around and run north with this thing, it'll take them forever. I kind of just want to make a knight up here to try and reinforce the top as quickly as possible. And I think that's all we need in turn. And we even trapped the archer on the other side of the vines, which is cool. So it's going to take them forever to bust through this with the dog. They deteriorate, yeah, and they're going to go north. Let's finish off the archer. And now I want to start getting shooters. This would probably be a pretty great wagon one, but I think we've got it figured out. We've got the pacing right, I think. So I think we just need to move back. Oh, we could attack here. That's interesting. So I was considering just backing up with them, but this causes them a lot of problems. And they still can't reach us. And we can just chill right here. Okay. Now we definitely want to take this. So the easiest thing would be to attack it with the trebuchet and just burst it down. Which we may want to do. They're so far away now from even crossing this that taking a turn off to use our trebuchet here from moving it forward is just fine. And now we really own the central area. Put a little healing up. I think this is fine. We've given them something to focus on up here in the mountains. I don't think we can cross over here. I think any trebuchets we build here are kind of stuck and have to follow the road. And our vines do deteriorate, so we can't count on them holding this line for us forever. Yeah, this may not have been the smartest move. I don't know. I felt like I liked it because it kept them one more turn back with these units. Instead of being way up here in my face, they're still back there. And the thing is, when these vines finally break down, I'll still have units here ready to go. Battle Pup goes up there. And let's make another shooter. And we can make another stabber down there. Just the sheer density of units that we have here is pretty impressive. And if they want to move in with the golem and attack our spearmen, they're going to have trouble. So I'm sure this thing can one-shot whatever it wants, basically. If he moves in and attacks us in melee, we have a shot with the trebuchet, which we can then follow up with multiple attacks. So I think we're just good in turn. Alright, let's see what we can do. Do we not have that attack? Why did it look like we could attack there last turn? Well, that's pretty bad. Let's choose something to block him up with. Yeah, this now comes down to this here. We're going to wait. Alright. We'll move here and wait. So if they're all coming top, we can push bottom. If they all go bottom, we push top. It's kind of the way this feels. Let's get some fast movers down here. And yeah, we're basically just, throwing up these fodder units to buy ourselves an extra turn to get our trebuchets in line. So I think what's going to happen is he may be able to come through here and attack here, and then free up this guy to move past. I don't know. But I think we need to do whatever we can to make sure that nobody can get to our trebuchets. I think that's enough defense. I don't think anything can get through this little area here to get into these. Alright, wish me luck. We might lose a lot of units here, but at the end of the day, we'll have 2 trebuchets set up. So we lose a 100 gold unit. Then we lose a 200 gold unit. So yeah, that looks really bad, right? And the archer steps forward. I was wondering if it'd be able to attack. There was definitely an order there where they could move forward with the archers and shoot, but I don't think that would have killed anything. But now, I mean, kind of look what we have. 60% there, and then we kill it, right? And then we can almost certainly kill that knight as well. So 2 trebuchets in defensive position on the bridge. So we essentially traded 300 gold for however much these things cost. I don't know, I haven't been able to make one yet, like 1,000 maybe? So we use our knights to attack. And then these things cost 600. So let's say they cost 1,000 plus 600. We're traded like 300. For like 1,600. So that seems pretty fair to me. Okay, that's very little damage. Alright. And then we're going to move forward with Greenfinger here. So the plan is being activated. We're doing it. This is going to be a super long video, but these games are, I think, a lot more tactically sound, I should say, than probably I thought they were when I first started playing this. I really wasn't giving it enough credit. So we'll move outside the attack range of any of these units, but we're still kind of threatening them. And the main idea is to have our trebuchets in a forward position by the time their trebuchet gets here. That way, if they want to attack us with theirs, they have to leave it vulnerable to us first. And that's kind of the general idea right now. Build another green guard and another mutt. We want to make sure we have a ton of units, that way when the time comes for us to push across that bridge and we need to start losing units to do that, that it's okay, that we have the units we need. Interesting. I can't believe that just one-shot those guys. Well, I mean, it's another case of they took out... I mean, they took out a 200 gold unit, and I'm probably going to be able to clean up the rest of them. Yeah, I mean, and they gave me that. So they traded, and then they put all of these units at jeopardy now. And we'll push across once we clear out all this chaff. But if they're going to feed it to us like this, I mean, us killing 4 units in a single turn, their dogs, then their dogs again just now, then the swordsmen and the archers. I mean, that's setting them back 2 full turns, even if they were using both of their barracks, which they're not, because every now and then they're making a knight or something, and not making another expensive unit. So this is feeling pretty game over. As long as we don't do anything, you know, stupid to expose Greenfinger, we should be fine. And we'll spend 1 more turn waiting on this village here. No reason to expose ourselves to any type of counterattack. And we have a ton of units coming from the backfield. I kind of want to save 1 more turn for another Trebuchet maybe. Yeah, we're not in danger from anything. There's no reason to advance whatsoever. If anything, I kind of want to just move back here and reinforce. And we'll still be able to afford our Trebuchet next turn. And if he wants to move forward and attack with this thing, he's basically feeding it to us again. So yeah, here we go. Oh, and we have our... that's so gross. His groove is back up. Man, I was going to say, I imagine we could one-shot them, but I guess not. This doesn't seem smart, and I think the AI just threw the entire game. Yep, that's the one big thing I guess you never want to do with your artillery is expose it to other people's artillery. We'll attack here, see what we can move, how we can move Greenfinger perhaps. But the main thing is how can we move our artillery? Because I think we can do some pretty gross stuff here with Greenfinger's special. His groove, I should say. Moving on up. These are all the easy decisions. Sometimes if you can't figure out the hard decisions, go back and try and re-execute your plan. When it comes to all the easy stuff. Just make a cheapo guy. We've got a lot of pups up here, not a lot of swordsmen though. So the big thing right now is how do we attack this? And then also, you know, how do we move forward with our trebuchet in a way that guarantees we're not taking, you know, deadly fire? And how much do we want to expose Greenfinger? I don't think we need to use his groove quite yet. Just move forward 1. And there we go. I think that's the right move. So it sucks that we can only attack this thing from the road. We're going to take a lot of damage to try and take it. And it also sucks that that one swordsman is close enough to the one tile we could attack them from the plains. Almost got it. Very close. But we're going to get it next turn. Yeah, having the artillery advantage is just enormous. So 2 cavalry gone. That's 1,200 gold down the drain. And I don't, once again, I just don't want to expose Greenfinger to random nonsense. I like this attack. It's all about buying us time at this point. If we could even get our trebuchets on this side of the bridge, that would be enormous. Okay, let's see what this looks like if I do it like this. Like I said, while I'm thinking, let's make all the easy moves. Get another knight. Okay. So my idea right now is to move Greenfinger here and then set up wild growth all over the place. Kind of like here and here and here. And I think that's a pretty safe play, but man, if I die, if I lose the game at this point because of that, I would feel pretty bad. Oh, I didn't wild growth, it didn't... Oh. I should have used it first. Oh, man. We just need to back up. We don't want the dogs to eat us for free. So I did mess that up, but I don't think it'll matter ultimately. Actually, it might. That sucks, because I was going to put them on the other side of the mountain, so this thing would, these archers wouldn't have been able to stand there and shoot me. But I guess I still have it for next turn. Very tricky. Dog on dog violence. And being the one to attack is almost always better. Should have just used my trebuchet. I didn't realize just how in range I was. Yeah. Our options there are to move our trebuchet this turn or to just finish them off. And I think we'll just finish them off. Capture there. And I think we'll be able to move our pikemen on the other side and then reinforce them. That seems fine. And now we have a pretty decent force here gathered around this village. Very strong. get in there. Just about an even trade. Man, it's so tempting to come over here and like wreck that guy.
Nature will claim you.
Let's do this instead. I think we'll really limit the way Sedge can move. And it really messes up the AI. Keeps all their dudes on this side of the battlefield. And we're going to build a wagon. Because I think if we don't, all of these units that we're building at this point really won't matter at all. These two swordsmen, for instance, they'll just never get to the other side of the battlefield before I can win. Alright, let's see what the AI can do with this. I was going to say, that's cool as long as they don't kill him. The AI's got to be real hesitant to try and move forward with Sedge when we have a Trebuchet on the field. We're almost using Greenfinger as bait at this point. We'll see what targets we have available to us. Knights cannot go in the mountains at all. That's good to know. I like that. Even if they follow up by killing the knights next turn, it still buys us an extra turn. It didn't kill them. Oh my god, it said 100% and it left them with 1%. That's what I'm talking about, guys. So getting these kills with Greenfinger helps us power up our groove again. We're just gonna wait. But this is where the power comes in. We'll wait. See what the best way to leapfrog this is. Can they get in there from this? And how many can I load? That's another good question. So, super long video, guys. Sorry about that. We're going to take this barracks here. I didn't expect it to give me 105%. That's huge. Or else I definitely would have taken it this turn. And getting a barracks on this side of the battlefield is also huge. We can just I mean, we could just build a trebuchet. What haven't we moved? Oh, we haven't spent our gold. That's what it is. Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to spend gold if we're just probably going to get a barracks this turn. Like I said, the only way we lose this is if we lose Greenfinger. And we expected to lose one of these units. We'd rather it be a dog because the dogs have no potential to capture anything. And then, as I said earlier, if we lose these knights, we don't care. The whole idea is to get the trebuchets over and to not lose Greenfinger, which I think we're doing quite well with. That area denial is so powerful. Can kill the pups, that's cool. Take out the village. It's a lot of interesting stuff that we can do here. Okay. Let's try and unite our two spearmen if we can. Capture this barracks and see what we can do with it. Can't use it this turn. Can move forward here. How many units can we load up? That's the question. Okay, we can't. So we probably should have dropped her. Let's do that. And then we might use our knights to take out the pups up here. Use our furthest back trebuchet to deal with that. Our pups obviously can't take it, but Greenfinger can. Man, I think this is safe.
This place will do nicely.
I hope so. Next turn we can reinforce Greenfinger with it. We have so much, we should just build a green guard now. We can even build two. And then I think we'll still have enough next turn to build a trebuchet right here. which should just be absolutely game-breaking. Any units that I'm missing? I know I still have gold, but any unit that I'm missing. Alright, cross your fingers I didn't mess this up somehow at the very end. Interesting. Okay. That's not where I expected these knights to go, but my archers are definitely a vulnerable target. So my knights are still alive. That was weird. So I mean, right now the game is essentially just terrified of my Trebuchets, I believe is what's going on right now. And we've got them boxed into a corner. There's just, I mean, I don't see a way that we lose this unless we sacrifice Greenfinger in some really stupid, bad play. Let's move forward here. I think we have to attack their stronghold. I think it's a win next turn if we just take it. And we're going to get our crit bonus finally from having two spearmen next to each other. Just put some damage on Sedge. He'll heal that up, of course, but no big deal. Wow, this is cool. Just give them a bunch of crappy targets that don't mean anything. Take out the knights with this trebuchet. That's to free us up to take the other village. All of this is kind of a moot point, I believe, just because we should be able to win next turn just by blowing up its stronghold. So if the game goes on longer than that, we'll take 2 extra villages. Which may or may not add to our score. And I guess our score is important. So we'll play it out. I'm not sure if the game values us making more or fewer units. It definitely values turns. Number of turns and number of units lost. But I mean, we have 4 trebuchets on his side of the battlefield. It's got to be GG. So we'll go through the motions of taking these 2 villages just because it may count towards, our point total at the end. I didn't move this knight. That was something that I meant to do. So, I mean, that'll add towards our units lost, speaking of. I may have been able to save that knight. But I was kind of happy to leave him there, which is probably why I subconsciously didn't move him, because I wanted Sedge to engage on him. Anything that has to do with the AI focusing down units that I don't care about, I much prefer. So attacking that will just be GG 100%. If I had captured with the other unit, I would have been able to reinforce this unit. So that was a bit of a mistake. If I captured with this one, then this one could reinforce. Yeah, mistake. And I also don't know if it takes into account units killed, you know, as a positive or a negative. So bear with me for one more minute while I attempt to try and make sure that we get a good rank for this, because I spent a lot of time doing this. I would love to make sure that I did a good job. So I think if I was going to review this strategy here, like getting a trebuchet right here seems insane. Like look at the distance we have on this. Like if you can make a trebuchet right here and then just park it, that's kind of obscene. And I think that's probably it for all the units that we can kill. So let's go ahead and end this. I think this ends this. There we go. Finally, an end to this dark chapter.
Sedge.
This saddens me, Sedge. After the opportunities I have given you, the trust I have placed in you.
That's enough.
I believed we had made progress, but you shun redemption. I was a fool to believe you would change. Leave now, Sedge. You are no longer welcome in the Florin lands. Sedge is going. But Greenfinger should watch the shadows. And so should Greenfinger's shiny cherry stone friends. Why didn't you just kill him?
Such a waste.
So victory for us. A C rank? Oh my god. After all of that, I felt like we did that pretty quickly. I mean, we took everything. I mean, I'm sure there was a faster way to do that. And we unlocked additional lore about Sedge, and we unlocked Greenfinger in the arcade. So guys, thank you for sticking with me in this super long episode, but I didn't want to cut it. You know, just cut out the part where I lose. Because it's a big part of the game, you know, is learning the strategy and understanding the tactics. Making sure that you never leave your heroes vulnerable. That's definitely a way that I have lost in the past. So we knocked out Banishment. And then I think next video we're going to try and take on Making Friends. And that'll help us move forward to our next real mission, the story mission. We meet again. My money's on fighting Ragna, I think. But anyway, guys, Making Friends, look forward to that next episode. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, my name is Brett. My channel is Good Talk Gaming. This was an obscenely long video. It's going to take me forever to upload it. So, wish me luck, wish my internet luck, wish YouTube luck. And guys, I will see you in the next one. Take care.